standing beside me, a man you're very familiar with at home, the bully of Midnight Mayhem, the man who has been on this show. He took out the career of Casey McKnight. This man is taking on C.W. Anderson tonight, a man that's got a varied pedigree coming from the Extreme Championship Wrestling. Zane, tonight, how are you going to be able to keep up with a hardcore legend like C.W.?
First of all, Aaron, if you didn't realize who you were talking to again, you need to rewind tape and look back at Midnight Mayhem and just remember who I am. I overcome odds. I do what I say I'm gonna do. C.W. Anderson, you're standing in my way, period. And tonight, Aaron Varnum, I take out C.W. Anderson because he's in my way of being at the top. And I've been saying for years that that's where I'm headed. And there is nothing or nobody, extreme or not, that's gonna stand in my way. C.W., if you wanna get extreme, you met your match.
The training of these poor creatures to turn themselves into fighting machines is simply barbaric. 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 Let that word resound from hill to hill. Barbaric.
Welcome to Midnight Mayhem, folks. We didn't see you last week. We are here this week. We have got two crazy matches coming up tonight. Don't be swayed by that man in the ring. That is C.W. Anderson, an ECW original, and he is taking on the one, the only Zane Dawson, the man that put away the career, the independent career of Casey McKnight.
And the man that keeps me up in a cold sweat in my dreams. That man is a scary man, that Zane Dawson.
He's a bully, and Keith, you have had a lot of run-ins with bullies throughout your high school, your college. You got put in a few lockers, and it's not unlike that man right there, Zane Dawson. You are having, what, PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder from your bully encounter.
Yes, and to all the kiddies out there, the key when being stuffed in a locker is to remain limber. You don't want to tense up, or your limbs are gonna fall asleep, and no one wants that.
Speaking of tensing up, look at C.W. Anderson just wrenching the arm of Zane Dawson. Zane Dawson trying to reverse it. Some technical wrestling in this match between two very good brawlers in professional wrestling. Look at C.W. Anderson. Now, this man has been all around the world. He was an ECW original. This man is a very, very talented professional wrestler. He even has some of the, he was one of the men that was the mentor for the one, the only Ali Steele.
There's a name we can all recognize. And as far as bullies goes, I have a little faith that C.W. Anderson may be able to put the monster Zane Dawson away.
I believe so too, Keith. I think we've got a potential W over the man, the myth, the legend, Zane Dawson coming up. C.W. Anderson, Zane Dawson resetting after a series of moves. Both of these men circling across the ring, and it looks like another strong tie-up. C.W. Anderson going behind, looking for something, but Zane Dawson reversing it to the back. And it looks like C.W. Anderson once again going straight for that left arm of Zane Dawson. Now, Keith, think about it this way. If C.W. Anderson takes out the arm of Zane Dawson won't be able to do that devastating lariat maneuver we see him do every week on Midnight Mayhem.
Oh, I believe you're talking about the finisher, the fatality move.
That's right, the one that has decapitated many of professional wrestlers here on Midnight Mayhem.
The one I've seen many times in my nightmares, I believe. That one, is that the move you're referring to?
Yes, that's right. The one that has killed many of people. And you know, Zane Dawson, this man knows how to strike you at any time, at any place for the most devastation. Folks, if you're liking what you're seeing, find us on Facebook, Facebook.com/Midnight Mayhem CW21. And you can find some of the older classic matches between Zane Dawson and Casey McKnight. Some of the matches between Zane Dawson and his brother Dave Dawson. And this, coming up next on the show, we've got a hell of a match, a cage match between Caleb Conley, and that's right, current ROH superstar Kevin Steen. Do you know who that is, Keith?
I'm not quite familiar with Kevin.
Keith, Kevin Steen is a monster among men. You are seeing Zane Dawson right now, not unlike Zane Dawson. Kevin Steen will put on a hell of a match between Caleb Conley. They are in a cage match, and I hear Steve Corino may be in the arena tonight.
Because my sleep isn't detrimented enough by this man here, Zane Dawson. We have to introduce more mythical creatures and beasts of legend into my nightmares. Thank you, Aaron. Thank you.
Zane Dawson with that rear chin lock on C.W. Anderson. C.W. trying to get out of it any which way he can. Zane Dawson just applying it even harder. C.W. getting the great Midnight Mayhem fans behind him, fighting back to his feet. This is giving him a little bit of space to go off the rope, but Zane Dawson turning C.W. on his knee.
Little ground was gained there. You thought, he was going to pick up steam, he's going to pick up momentum, but no. He just ran into the brick wall of Zane Dawson.
A Dawson brand beating. I think that's what C.W. Anderson is getting right now. You see that shirt that he has forced upon the late, the great Brock Knox.
Oh, that's right. The great Brock Knox. Rest in peace, good friend. Rest in peace.
Zane Dawson getting a knife edge chop to the chest, and C.W. building some momentum. C.W. blocking Zane Dawson. Zane Dawson with a knee to the midsection, and he is Irish whipping him. Zane Dawson going up, and C.W. taking the low blow route right there and hitting him in the groin, and C.W. with a lariat of his own.
He went a little too close to the sun there, I believe.
That's right, C.W. going for the cover, hooking the leg too. Zane Dawson still in this matchup. It sounds like intern Keith is opening up a brewski over there. Intern, 1, 2. Zane Dawson still around. C.W. and C.W.'s had some very memorable matches with some of the most memorable people. Especially, he had a feud with Steve Corino. We're going to be seeing that man coming up in this next matchup. But C.W. Anderson, Irish whipping Zane with that Bruiser Brody-like leg going for the cover. And C.W. is still in this matchup.
We love to see matches with both of these guys. I mean, Zane Dawson's been around for a while. He knows how to hurt people. And C.W. Anderson, he's the ECW original. He's a god amongst men. Let's just say it. I'm putting it out there. Let's just say it.
I believe it. Zane Dawson calling for the lariat. Perhaps he is going to take the King of Extreme down with that very, very famous left arm. But it looks like C.W. Anderson with the super kick going for the cover. C.W. Anderson. Wow. Zane Dawson kicking out of this. I don't know how in the world he still is cognizant enough to know that he should be kicking out. I believe that's just pure instinct.
That's right. That boot went right to the chin of Zane Dawson.
Zane Dawson dazed and confused. C.W. Anderson getting hit by the lariat. My God. 1, 2, 3. Your winner, Zane Dawson, beats C.W. Anderson. Coming up next, Caleb Conley, Kevin Steen, ROH superstar. You don't want to miss this. Welcome back to Midnight Mayhem. They are not even waiting to get into the cage. These two men are fighting each other outside the ring. Caleb Conley, Kevin Steen, and folks, this is going to be an interesting matchup. Kevin Steen, an ROH superstar. Keith, I've got a big announcement for you.
Wow, wait, what? I don't even know what's going on. What's going on, Aaron?
Keith, coming soon to the CW21. What you're watching right now, if you live in the Myrtle Beach area, we are going to start running ROH before Midnight Mayhem. At 11 o'clock, starting in February, ROH for an hour right before Midnight Mayhem. And then Midnight Mayhem starts at midnight, so they are leading into Midnight Mayhem. That means that we are going to have an hour and a half of fantastic professional wrestling. Folks, we couldn't give you 2 hours because you couldn't handle 2 hours.
I hope you ask the people of our viewing area if they could handle 90 minutes of blood pumping wrestling. This is a big announcement. This is a big deal, Aaron.
This is a huge deal on Midnight Mayhem. Look at Caleb Conley getting attacked by Kevin Steen out into the audience. This is what you get at both an ROH show and a Midnight Mayhem show. This is going to be fantastic. Kevin Steen, Caleb Conley kicking the crap out of each other, and you only get to see that on the CW21 here in Myrtle Beach.
That's awesome. I'm excited for it. When is this going to start?
We believe it's starting the second week. You shouldn't have asked the specific date, Keith, but I think it starts the second week of February. We're starting to kind of get everything together, piece it together. You guys asked for it. We're giving it to you, and it's an hour and a half of professional wrestling that you only get here in Myrtle Beach. And then Kevin Steen hit the ref. The ref is knocked out.
He's gone. He is seeing Tweety Birds and stars right now. And just to review, we haven't even made it to the ring yet.
I don't even know what the hell is going on, Keith. Stuff is happening outside the ring. Caleb Conley slamming Steen's head into the side of the cage multiple times. And this is just going on. There's a ref on the ground. And Keith, we made the big announcement about ROH. This is an amazing episode of Midnight Mayhem already. And we had Zane Dawson and C.W. Anderson in the first match.
This is too much to handle. I think that is why the ref went out so easy. He was so distracted from our big news.
I am too, Keith. I don't know what's going on in this matchup. Kevin Steen, Caleb Conley fighting around the ring. They haven't even gotten inside the ring, so officially this match hasn't even started yet. Kevin Steen taking the outside of the cage to the face, and then it looks like Caleb Conley knocked out the backup ref.
There goes ref number 2. The chaos has ensued outside the ring. Again, we haven't made it inside the ring yet.
So this match hasn't even started, and yet there's bodies of 3 men on the ground right now, and it looks like Caleb Conley is grabbing a table. Folks, if this never happens inside the ring, then what the hell is going to be the outcome of this matchup? And it looks like Caleb Conley is going to slam Kevin Steen through the table, perhaps climb up a little bit, and then do a nice slam on top of Kevin Steen, and it looks like he's climbing up to the top. Kevin Steen, clever ruse, throwing Caleb Conley through the table.
Kaboom, and down he goes. Oh my goodness. The table is snapped in half. That is an X, a table.
Wow, folks. Caleb Conley, Kevin Steen. We're going to have more of this matchup. Maybe they'll get into the ring when we come back. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Midnight Mayhem. We just saw Kevin Steen throw Caleb Conley through a damn table. And if you missed it, folks, you're going to have to watch the replay every Sunday night at 11 o'clock, or you can find it online at facebook.com/Midnight Mayhem CW21. And if you're watching this in Wilmington, you'll be seeing this on Friday. This is an amazing thing that we just have witnessed. And finally, folks, they're getting inside the ring, but the thing is they don't have a ref. Who will be their ref?
This is anarchy right now.
It's bedlam, Keith.
It is bedlam. Absolutely great word, by the way. This is just chaos. He's giving the crowd, are you not entertained?
Wait a minute, folks. I heard that Steve Corino's in the arena. Steve Corino with a lot of history with Kevin Steen. They don't like each other, Keith. They are not really good friends. And it looks like Kevin Steen just ignoring Corino and throwing Conley across the ring. And I believe Steve Corino has taken the helm of the referee in this matchup, which is a good thing, Keith, because he's a hardcore legend. He's an former ECW World Heavyweight Champion. This man has got a pedigree about him, and I believe he's a little bit more resilient than those last two referees that we had.
Let's hope so. Steve Corino donning the zebra stripes for this match. We are truly honored to have him in the ring tonight.
Steve Corino, a man that has made his name all across the world, and he is here on Midnight Mayhem. We have had C.W. Anderson, and we have had Steve Corino and Kevin Steen all on one episode. Zane Dawson and Caleb Conley. This is a hell of an episode of Midnight Mayhem. And look at Kevin Steen just crushing the sternum and midsection, the solar plexus of Caleb Conley.
It looks like he's having a little bit of a thought. He's planning his next move as he stands on the lungs of Caleb Conley.
Steen fighting Caleb Conley. Caleb Conley came into this matchup. The bell just rang, so officially this match just started. Steen just picking him up and throwing him down. Caleb Conley has already been through hell and back, going through a table, and here we go. Kevin Steen just attacking Caleb Conley right there. And look at his face. He doesn't look like he's concerned at all.
This is one of those matches where you think, I think he's got the upper hand, and he's been look
at that senton by Kevin Steen.
That is, he's just been making moves like that. He's been throwing Caleb Conley around like a ping pong ball the entire match.
Well, look at the weight differential. Kevin Steen's a big boy compared to Caleb Conley.
That usually makes the difference between, I'm a little guy, so I know all about, you don't mess with the big boys on campus.
Now, Caleb Conley is not that small, Keith. You got to look at him like this. Comparatively speaking, he is not a little guy. And look at Steen just kicking the ham hock of Caleb Conley. Caleb Conley trying to fight back with any bit of strength he has left. And he is finally maybe chipping away at the armor of Kevin Steen.
I think those two chops are the first moves we've seen against Kevin Steen in this match since it started.
Quote unquote.
Quote unquote.
Kevin Steen just punching the face of Caleb Conley. Steve Corino, that watchful eye, as he takes Caleb Conley's head and wipes it across that cold steel ring just like a cheese grater, Keith.
I'm going to say it. Steve Corino's actually doing a great job of reffing this match.
He hasn't done anything, Keith.
That's true, but he hasn't been knocked out. So you held him to a higher standard than those other two refs that we've had.
Look at Caleb Conley getting out of that maneuver by Kevin Steen, and it looks like Caleb Conley fighting back to his feet finally with a jawbreaker to Kevin Steen. And it looks like this may be the opening that Caleb Conley needs to either get out of the cage or beat Kevin Steen 1, 2, 3 in the middle of that ring.
These are two great wrestlers right now. We've got some heavy hitters in the ring, so I'm excited to see where this match goes.
Folks, we have seen Caleb Conley fight before. We have seen Kevin Steen fight before. Both of these men are fantastic professional wrestlers. And look at Conley, taking them all four corners of the ring, all four sides of that devastating cage. And Conley knows what the hell he's doing right now. Look at that. Look at that beautiful variation on the neck breaker, hooking the leg. 1, 2. Kevin Steen kicks out.
What an amazing hit. I bet the audience felt that. The entire cage shook when that move went out. Caleb
Conley taking off the shirt. Folks, if you want to see any more of Midnight Mayhem. Go to facebook.com/Midnight Mayhem CW21. You know you want to see more of this. My God, we have an ROH announcement. We have a cage match. Caleb Conley's going up, trying to go for the Hurricane Rana, and Kevin Steen just using it as a power bomb. Oh my God, just bouncing him. And it looks like Kevin Steen's got him up and down.
Just bouncing him off the cage. Everyone who's ever been next to a fence knows that that doesn't feel good to be thrown against the cold steel.
Steve Corino checking Caleb Conley to see if he's still alive. Just making sure that Caleb Conley is able to complete this matchup. Be it a loss or a win, Caleb Conley still has to be aware enough to continue.
You see him moving a little bit, so that's just enough to let this match keep going. But
whoa, Keith, what is Steen doing?
Oh no, he's not going up, is he?
Big man going up top. Kevin Steen going to the top rope. What is Kevin Steen gonna do here? Is he gonna go all the way to the top of the cage? Kevin Steen teasing that audience right now. The audience says go up, and Kevin Steen, he may be going up to the top. This would be an amazing feat. Oh, Kevin Steen giving the finger to the audience. He gives the bird, and Kevin Steen going off the top rope. Oh my God, Kevin Steen with the swanton, and it looked like Caleb Conley blocks it with his knees.
I'm surprised he's able to get back up, and he's not paralyzed after a move like that.
Beautiful Hurricane Rana. Caleb Conley going for the cover. Steve Corino only with the 2 count right there. My God, how did Kevin Steen survive that fall? How did Caleb Conley's knees survive that fall?
There's been some magnificent hits in this match, and I'm surprised either one is able to move it all. And what do we have going on right now?
It looks like Caleb Conley's going for that patented finishing maneuver, the money shot. He looks like he is going to... No, Caleb Conley is getting reversed out of it. Kevin Steen off the ropes, catching Caleb Conley, throwing him against it. Oh my God, look at that suplex. And Kevin Steen going for the cover.
1, 2, oh, and at the last second he gets out.
Steve Corino, you put the nail right on the head, Keith. Steve Corino is a hell of a ref in this matchup.
I wasn't expecting it, to be honest. I was expecting a little bit of interference. I'm pleasantly surprised, with Steve Corino right now.
Looks like Steen is going for his finishing maneuver. Oh, and Steve Corino takes a bump in the middle of the ring. Steen going for the Steenizer. Oh my God, that package pile driver right there. And he's going for the cover. Steve Corino still cognizant enough. 1, 2. Steve Corino giving the finger to Kevin Steen.
Oh man, I retract whatever I said, but that was one heck of a hit.
Steve Corino has enough of Kevin Steen's business right now, and Steve Corino, he's putting Caleb Conley on top of Kevin Steen. 1, 2, Steen kicks out!
This match just keeps going and going and going like the Energizer Bunny. You just can't get enough of this match on Midnight Mayhem.
Steve Corino doesn't know what he has to do to Kevin Steen to have Caleb Conley win.
This is turned into a 2 versus 1, and he's winning.
Look at Steen going across the ring onto Steve Corino. Steve Corino, Caleb Conley with the super kick right now, and Caleb Conley with that small package driver right there, and it looks like he is going for the cover. 1, 2, 3. One of the refs who survived Kevin Steen earlier. My God, that was a hell of a match.
He is alive. I'm excited to see that our refs have come to and are still alive. That's always a good sign at the end of any match.
Oh my God, folks, we gotta take a breath right now. I need to go get my inhaler. Holy cow. I am feeling a little bit verklempt. Kevin Steen, Steve Corino, Caleb Conley, Zane Dawson, C.W. Anderson. This has been one of the greatest episodes of Midnight Mayhem, and you got to watch it. In a couple weeks, ROH debuting on before Midnight Mayhem at 11 o'clock. Find us on Facebook, facebook.com/Midnight Mayhem CW21. Thank you, folks. We love you. For the one one, the only intern Keith. Have a good night.
Woo!
The training of these poor creatures to turn themselves into fighting machines is simply barbaric. 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 Let that word resound